Welcome to How to Build Prestige Part 2. I'm Mario Afterparty with the Nintendo Power Zone podcast, and I'm going to get right into the new Prestige system, which reflects the update on November 6th. The update made taking gyms a lot easier, but it made building Prestige a lot harder because it changed the formula on how much Prestige you can get. One thing that hasn't changed though is that the amount of Prestige you get is still based off of the Pokemon in your team with the highest CP, whether you use it or not. To use the example from the last episode, let's say you beat that Arcanine up there with your Wigglytuff. The game is going to give you Prestige as if you had beat it with the Vaporeon that's highlighted because it bases all the Prestige off of the Pokemon in your team with the highest CP. You used to be able to get 1,000 Prestige per Pokemon you defeated. Not anymore. The formula has been cut in half, so now the max you can get per Pokemon is 500. And remember, to do that, you have to use a Pokemon with half the CP of the defending Pokemon. So if you go to a gym and there's a Pokemon there with 2,000 CP, you have to use a Pokemon with 1,000 CP to get 500 points for beating it. I know it sucks, but there is a strategy to help you out. Type matching. Type matching is the strategy of using a Pokemon's moves that are super effective to do extra damage. Every Pokemon type has its own strengths and weaknesses. Exploiting those weaknesses is how you're going to be successful in building Prestige. Right now, a super effective attack will do an extra 25% of damage to the Pokemon that you're battling. But to all you guys who are fans of the main series, you know that in the main series, it does an extra 100% damage. So if Niantic ever decides to change this, it could become even more important later. But as of right now, it's doing an extra 25% of damage for you. Resistances are important too though, because you'll stay alive longer if your Pokemon is resistant to the attacks that the defending Pokemon is using on you. Now, a lot of you know that in the main series you take 50% less damage if you're resistant to an attack. But in Pokemon Go, you take 20% less damage for being resistant to an attack. Now that might change in the future, which once again, it would make typing a lot more important, but as of right now, you're going to take 20% less damage for being resistant to your opponent's attacks. So let me break this chart down for you because I know some of you guys are probably confused. The bar at the top represents the type of Pokemon that is being attacked. The bar on the left represents the type of move that is being used on that Pokemon. Now, I say move because it's not the type of Pokemon you're using to attack. Because remember, just because you have a normal Pokemon like Snorlax doesn't mean that it only knows normal moves. Snorlax knows psychic moves, ground moves. Basically, it can learn moves outside of its type. The plus symbols represent super effective, the minuses are resistances, and just pretend that the X's are also resistances as well, because in the main series, certain types can't be affected by certain moves, like Ghost Pokemon can't be hit with a normal move, but in Pokemon Go, right now, they can, and it's counted as a resistance. There are a lot of charts out there that you can use. This is just an example of one, but there are other formats that break it down in different ways, so I recommend that you go online and either screenshot or download a chart that is easy for you to read, because there are a lot of types to remember, and it's good to have it on hand. The last strategy I'm going to talk to you guys about are double weaknesses. Some Pokemon have dual types, and if both of those types are weak to the same thing, they have a double weakness. This is important because you only get an extra 25% damage for using super effective attacks. So if a Pokemon has a double weakness, then you're going to be doing an extra 50% damage for using that attack. Let's break it down with some examples. Executor. This is a Pokemon you see a lot of in the gyms. It's Grass Psychic type, but Grass and Psychic are both weak against Bug type moves, giving it a double weakness. Executor is a pretty tough Pokemon, but you can actually have a lot of success building Prestige against it just by using a Scyther, because Scyther can learn Bug moves in both its Quick move and its Charge move. with the ideal moveset pictured here. Also, one nice thing is that being a bug flying type, Scyther is not weak against any of Exeggutor's moves either, and it's going to be resistant against Exeggutor's grass type moves. Gyarados is another popular Pokemon that people love to place in the gyms, but it has an Achilles heel too. That's electric type attacks, because electric is good against both water and flying. Right now, Jolteon is the best electric Pokemon in the game, at least until Zapdos comes out, so I have had a lot of success using Jolteons against Gyarados' building prestige, and as you can see here, I beat a Gyarados that was almost twice the CP as my Jolteon. A lot of people don't realize that Dragonite has a double weakness as well. Dragon and Flying are both weak against ice attacks. Here's one of my battles where I absolutely crushed this Dragonite that was over double my CP using a little old Dugong. And you'd be surprised how strong Dugong is, but I've had a lot of success using Dugongs to take down much higher CP Dragonites, which goes to show you just how useful type matching is. I do have one final takeaway for you guys though, and that is a note on the strength of that kind of Pokemon. Some Pokemon are just better than others. Snorlax and Lapras are two really tanky Pokemon that you can use on just about anything in the gyms, and you're going to have a lot of success with them. The starter Pokemon are really strong too though. In fact, all the Pokemon pictured here are ones that I've had a lot of success with. The best thing to do though is just to go out there and experiment and use trial and error to figure out which Pokemon work best for you, because remember, type matching and movesets also play a part in it. Well guys, I hope you liked the video. I hope you found it informative. If you like the music, check me out. You can look up Mario Afterparty on iTunes, the Google Play Store, or Amazon Music, and you can stream me on Apple Music, Spotify, and Tidal. And if you just want to listen to my songs for free, I've got the SoundCloud link in the description. And of course, don't forget to check out the Nintendo Power Zone podcast, where host Nice One and I bring you the latest Nintendo-related news and analysis. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher Radio. And remember, stay fresh. Please don't wake me only in my dreams.